Okay, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So we were,
Yes, we can see it.
yeah, that's great. So we were studying about Python's data structure. We just started different data containers or data collections. So we previewed what is list, what is tuple, sets, and dictionary. Just to give you the brief overview of what we covered yesterday, and then we will go into detail. So yesterday we just uh, defined these data containers and also tried to differentiate between them. So lists are ordered. So lists are ordered. Order matters. So list is a sequential data, and obviously you can mutate the list. So that's very important. So list, you can contain different type of data. So and the elements of the list could be of different data type, or they could be of same data type. And we know how to create a list. We create list with this square bracket, and each element is separated from the next element by a comma. So, and there is no limitation regarding the length of the list. Length of the list could be empty, or it could be as long as allowed by the memory of your computer. So the length of this list is 4 because it contains 4 elements, and all the elements are of the same data type. So that's uh, what the list is. And list obviously uh, is a sequential data. It's ordered data, so it also facilitate indexing and slicing. We will cover indexing and slicing in today's lecture. So indexing is basically if you want to retrieve a single element from a data container, and slicing is if you want to retrieve a subsequence of elements from our data containers. And list, obviously it is mutable, so we can insert an element, we can append an element to the end of the list, we can modify any element. And lists are very powerful, very flexible in Python, and you will be using a list a lot. So tuples are similar to list, but they are immutable. So obviously tuples are ordered. So it means that you can use indexing and slicing to access elements. But since tuples are immutables, you cannot modify elements. So yeah, but obviously it's a more nuanced concept. It's a more subtle concept. Yeah. Sets are unordered collection of unique elements. So that's very important. Unique elements or distinct elements. So elements cannot be repeated or duplicated in set. So that's a very important property of set. So list, we create list with the square bracket, tuples with round bracket, and we create sets with curly braces. So this is like curly braces are used to create sets as well as dictionaries. So sets again are unordered, and sets are this set must be composed of unique elements. So if you include uh, duplicated elements, one of the duplication will be removed. So let's suppose that if you have one, uh, 2, so the set will be 1 comma 2. So the duplicated, so 1 is appearing in the above set twice, so it will not show you, so it will be removed. So because sets cannot contain duplicated elements. And then we have and sets, obviously we perform if you might have studied in high school, like we can perform union, we can perform intersection on set, we can perform set difference, we can perform other type of mathematical operations, and very useful for performing mathematical operations. Then we have dictionaries. So dictionaries are key value pairs. Again, dictionaries are key value pairs, and we create dictionaries with curly braces. So each key value pair is separated from the next key value pair by a comma. And we also studied that keys. So what are the two limitations on the keys? key must be unique and it must be of immutable type. So the concept of mutability and immutability, I did not explain you in detail, and I did not touch it yet. I will I will explain it in detail in tomorrow's lecture. But you can think of tuple is immutable. Uh, all the basic data types like int, float, string, uh, and Boolean, they are immutable. So they could be keys in dictionary. So any immutable data type could be a key, but keys should not be repeated. So if you have keys must be unique. They should not be repeated in a dictionary. So that's very important. And there is literally no limitation on the values. Any mutable or immutable object could be a value. So in a dictionary. So that's important. And we will explore these concepts in detail. So all these data containers also support iteration, or you can loop over these data containers, and we will study loops in lecture 5. So yeah, very important. Okay, so now let me how to delete these. Okay, delete all ranks. Okay, delete this. Okay, and oh, before that, I also want to explain you the difference between method, method, and attribute. Okay, method and attribute before we start. Uh, so everything in Python is an object, and object has everything in Python is object, and object has a method as well as an attribute. So you can think of a human being as an object. So what is the attribute of human beings? Maybe they have names like human beings here. Uh, so they have attributes as well as they can perform some function. So uh, attribute and methods. Methods is nothing but a function that operates on the object of a particular class. So this is a function basically. This is just a function that is defined for this object of class human. So attributes, you can think of attributes of human as name, as age. These are attributes. And methods could be the operations or functions or methods for human being could be like human beings can breathe, breathing, walking, talking, shopping. These are operations. So now, I mean, my purpose is not to explain you in to explain you everything that goes in object-oriented programming. Python is a highly object-oriented programming, but all you need to know is how to call a code. So object for just to distinguish. So this is how you will see object dot method must be followed by parentheses. So let's suppose that if this object is of type list, so we have append. So append is a method for that is operated on a list, and it will be followed by parenthesis. Okay, so method will be followed by the name will be followed by parenthesis, and attribute there will be no parenthesis. So object dot name of the attribute. It could be anything, maybe just age. I'm just giving you an example. So this age is without any parenthesis following it. So that's very important. So what's the difference from the coding point of view here? I mean, you don't need to go into its detail. All you need to know how to apply methods to list, or how to apply methods. So you will apply, if you want to apply a method to a list. So you will, what you will do, you should have a list, the name of the list name dot, and some method, maybe extend. For the extend is a method for defined for the list. So this will be followed by a parenthesis. So dot parenthesis. So that's dot, the name of the method, followed by parenthesis. And if the dot is followed like for attribute, so it won't have a parenthesis. So attribute is without so that's a distinction. So that's a distinction between method and attribute. So can anyone like try to summarize what I'm trying to say about method versus attribute distinction? It will be good for everyone. So don't worry about right, wrong. I mean, we are all learning. It's not an issue. So yeah, just go ahead and maybe summarize it. Okay, maybe I should. Yeah, go ahead.
As far as I understood, an attribute is kind of the name of a variable, how the object is distinguished among the other objects, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
So for
yeah.
example, if I call introduce a list and I call it, for example, programming, like you did here, right? So programming is going to be an attribute.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do with it, append something or slice it, it's going to be the method, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So method. So each we distinguish objects by their corresponding methods and attributes. So different objects have different methods and attributes. So lists have different method than tuples. So because the methods that we can apply on the object of class list, we cannot apply on the object of class tuple, because list supports mutability, and we can insert. We have a method append, insert for list, but we don't have corresponding methods for tuples because tuple don't support this mutation operations. So like dictionary is an object which have different attributes and methods. So that's how we distinguish between objects of different classes. So yeah, lists have one type of methods, then the tuple have another methods, sets have another methods, like intersection, union, set difference. These make sense for sets, but not for other data container. So slowly we will understand it, but this is more about how to call a code, and you have to remember that Python is a highly object-oriented programming. So object-oriented language. So you will also see functions like this. We call this function like len, and we pass the name of the list. So this here we are calling this function in a more functional style. Okay, so I mean I will explain it. Maybe when you will see it, you will understand it. So rather than just explaining it without showing you examples is not a good idea. So let me clear it, and let me yeah. Okay, so this is a list. This is a list. So how many elements we have in this list? Say it again,
Four.
please. 4. So it has 4 elements, and all the 4 elements are of the same data type. They are string. And so we can find how can we find what is the name of the function that we use to count the number of elements in a iterable? Anyone?
Len.
Yeah, len. So len is a function. So let me, if I hear len is a name of the function, so you are calling it more in a functional style. So you can see that len function. Okay, and this is another list, and you can see that so both these lists A and B contains the same elements, but they are in a different orders. Therefore, they are different lists. And A is B. So these two lists refer to two different lists in the memory. So A is B is not equal. A is B is false. So if A is a identity operator. It will give true if the two objects share the same memory in a if two objects share the same memory. So that's very important. Okay, and is something like this. Yeah, here. Okay, programming is like this is another list, and it has 4 elements. So how many data types we have in this list? Quickly.
4.
4.
4, yeah. So int, float, boolean, string. So you can store any type of data in Python's list. Even you can store function, modules, classes. You can store anything. Python's lists are very, very flexible. So even you can store nested list, nested tuples, dictionaries in a list as an element. There is no constraint. Yeah, and now there is another like Python list does not require to be unique. So R is repeated here. It's not like set where which excludes repetitions. Okay, so yeah. So here we will study like slicing, but obviously if it's of no point, it's not of any use if you store element in a data structure and you are not able to retrieve it or you are not able to access it. So indexing and slicing helps you to access the element. So this is basically slicing. You are indexing more than you are accessing more than one element. So this is a start index. This is the end index. End index is exclusive. Start index is inclusive. So, and you always need, so this is the name of the list which you want to slice, for which you need some sort of a subsequence. This is the name of the list. And then you use square brackets, start index 0. So the first element in this is 0. So we start counting in Python from 0 rather than 1 as we do it in R. So yeah, so it will give me 0 is inclusive, 0, 1, 2, not 3, because 3 is exclusive. So it will give me Python, Java, R. So yeah, obviously we will study it in detail. I'm just like these concepts will come. Yeah, and here let me run this cell. Let me run this cell. And you guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Questions, please ask questions. So that's very important. No question is right, no question is wrong. Yeah. Okay. So this is a membership operator. We just want to check whether Python exists in this list or not. So what do you think? What we will get? So what?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I don't have understand what the concepts of indexing here. Like,
Okay. Okay, indexing. So okay, let me give you a definition of indexing and slicing. So if you want to access a single element, that is indexing. If you want to access some sequence of elements, that will be slicing. So let me show you. So let's suppose that this is our list. So maybe it has 5, 4, 3. This is my 3, sorry. This is 9. So let's suppose that I want to access a single element, this element only, 4. So that will be indexing. That I need to know the position of this element in a data structure. What is the position of this element in a data structure? 7.
1.
1. In the Python's language, it is 1. This is the 1. So this is 0. This is 1. So if I am accessing a single element, obviously it is indexing. Okay. And if I am trying to access multiple elements, so if I am accessing, if I want to access these 2 elements, maybe last 2 elements, so that will be slicing. So if I want to access multiple elements from a data structure simultaneously, that is slicing. Okay. So here, what I'm doing, so what is this programming? So what you have to give the name of the list, and then you need to use the square bracket. Okay, square bracket. And in the square bracket, you start from this, like if I want to access this element, and this element simultaneously, if I want to access these three elements simultaneously, so I will start from 0 because 0 is inclusive, and I will go to here, 0, 1, 2, 3, because this is exclusive. So yeah, so it will give me these elements. So I mean, we will study it in detail. Here I just want to show you that I just want to
Thank
show
you.
that we can do indexing. Why we can do indexing um, and slicing with list and tuple? Anyone? Why we can do indexing and slicing with lists and tuple? So maybe quickly.
They are
Because
in
they have
order.
Ordered.
because they have more than one element.
Yeah, ordered. So that's a very key thing. So you can always use a numerical index to retrieve elements from a data structure if that data structure is ordered, whether you are in Python or any language. So you can use numerical index because the data structure is ordered. Both tuple and lists are ordered. So that's what I want to show you. That's a property of a data structure. Dictionaries, they are not ordered. So you need, if you want to access values associated with keys in a dictionary, you have to use some other method. Obviously, you cannot use numerical index because order does not matter in dictionaries. Okay, so we can have nested lists. So this is a nested list. The fourth element here is a nested list. So we have 4 elements. So if you apply len function on it, you will get 4. So don't be confused by this nested list. Nested list is a separate element. If you count the number of element in this list, so this is we have 4 elements. Okay, and this is 0, which start from 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, okay. So now I mean, yeah, we were here and len function. Okay, yeah, okay. So this will give you 3, and okay, and here you can see like this is list, and this is also a list. So this plus sign, what will this plus sign do if the operands or of operands? So let me use the same vocabulary again. So this is our arithmetic plus operator, and operands here, this is operand number 1, this is operand number 2. These are of class list. These are of class list. So this behavior, obviously, this plus uh, uh, perform, like if the operands are numbers, it will simply add them. If the operands are string, it will concatenate them. If the operands are list, it will basically add all the elements in this second list towards the end of the first list. So programming is the first list. When I will do, you will see it. So let me show you. Yeah, let me show you. So this creates a bigger list, and I want to, yeah. So this is, so how many elements we have in this list now? And yeah,
7
7.
elements.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what happens that these elements in the all the elements in the A are appended to the end of the list programming as a separate elements. So each of the elements in A list is appended to the programming list as a separate element. So that's very important. Okay, so yeah. So this is what plus does. Obviously, yeah. And yeah, and if you want to see all the methods that apply for object of class list. So how do you know what type of methods or what type of operations you can perform? There are so many of them. Even I don't use them or use all of them. So you can use DAR and within parentheses list. So this will give you all the methods. Yeah, all the operations. So yeah, and I think I will skip it for a time being. Yeah, here numeric. Okay, so here. So I'm skipping this. So we have a numeric list. Okay, so this numeric list. First, this numeric list. So so you can find the all the you can find minimum, maximum, because all the elements are of type int here. So you can find the maximum and minimum of the list. So len function will count the number of the elements. Okay, why I'm getting this error quickly? Why this error? Because I did not run the previous cell. So yeah, so minimum will give you, what is the minimum value in this list?
5.
5. So this will give you minimum, and maximum will give you the maximum. So we are calling these len, minimum, maximum in a more of a functional style. We are calling this code in a more of functional style. So you have to like any, all, min, max, len. So what we do, just note how we call the code. So we give the name of the function, then parenthesis, and the name of the list or the name of the iterable. Okay, here again, min is the name of the function, inbuilt functions. These are inbuilt function. So parenthesis and the name of the list. Yeah. So nested list again, you have so how many elements we have in this list?
6.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is a single element. So this is a element. So last element is a list, but it's a element. So you have a 6th element, and you can confirm this with len function. You can always pass len function, and yeah, and minimum, obviously a minimum element is in this nested list, but this min function does not apply to the nested list. So you have to write your own function if you want to um, uh, find the minimum value, if it exists, even in if you are interested in finding the minimum value, even if it exists in the nested list. So yeah, okay. Not supported between, okay, so this, okay, yeah, so they are of different types. So the data is of different types. So this is int, all these are int, but this is of type list. So data type is very, very important. So can you find the minimum of a list which only contains even Boolean can find, like, I mean, data type is important. So what type of data you are storing in a list and what type of operations you can perform. These two things are related, and these two things are very, very important. So yeah, okay. Okay, we will cover these things in detail. So okay, let's do some use some methods. It's very important to use some methods here. So let me define a list. Okay. Okay, this is a list. This is a very simple list. Okay, and so how many elements we have in this list, and what are their data type quickly?
2
2
and
and
integers.
integer.
Yeah, 2 integer. That's great. So yeah, 2 integers. And if I want to append 555 in this list, so what I will do, what is the name of this list?
ls.
ls. So ls is the name of the list. So this is ls. I want to append 555 in this list. So then a dot operator, and append is a method. Append is a method, name of the method, then parenthesis, and 555. So you will see that it can this will be added as an element in this will be added as an element. So you can see, okay, where is it? LES, LS. So yeah, so now you have, so now maybe you know how to call a method on object of class list. So calling a method on any, I mean, the format is the same. The format is same. So it's calling a method on any object of any class is same. So you need give the name of the object. Okay. Dot operator, name of the method, followed by parenthesis, and within parentheses you give the arguments. Obviously, this is how, I mean, if you are coming from R, it may be strange for you initially. That's why I'm explaining. So this is how you call methods. So yeah, and different Pythons have like different objects, and different methods are defined for different objects. And sometimes they also share the methods. Method is nothing but a function defined for object of particular class. So this append is nothing. It's a function that is defined for list. This function cannot work for tuple because tuple are immutable. It cannot work for, I don't think so, append work for dictionaries as well. We have a separate, different way of introducing a key value pair in a dictionary. So yeah, maybe yeah. Any questions so far? Okay, so we have another method. Yeah, you can see that extend is a method. So I will explain you what's the difference between. Go ahead. Question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Mr. Emra. You've not explained the help bit. I can see help, parentheses, list, and append. Is it the formula to look for any formula in Python?
Any if you want to get help for any method, so you can call this. So here, basically, this is not like, yeah, maybe the good way is basically what you need to do. If all of you are using Jupyter Notebook, so when you type this, can you see my cursor? Where is my cursor now? Where is my cursor now?
Let's append 555.
Then you will press Shift plus Tab. So it will give you like what type of arguments it takes. So it gives you more information. But obviously, help is not so good. I'm not satisfied with the help of Jupyter Notebook. So sometimes you have to go online to check what are the arguments. So these methods are single argument methods. So I mean, it's not much difficult, but yeah. So let me explain you. Let me explain you extend. So append the. So even if here, let me, where is it? So let me type here ls, and if I am appending 555 25. So what happens? Can anyone explain what is the effect of this command on this list?
We have added another list in ls.
So the whatever argument you gave to append, it is added as a single element towards the end of the list. Is it a right explanation? So this is added as a single element. So this is a single.
Yes.
This is
It's
added as
the last. Yeah.
Yeah, it is added as a single element. So what if you want to add these 550, this first element, second element as separate elements in a list? So what if you want to have this type of list as a result? So 99, 100, 5, 5, 5, 25. So if you want to have this type of results, basically you need to use extend method. So what extend does, the impact of extend, I think extend basically, yeah, multiple elements. So appending multiple elements, it will be appended. Yeah, I mean, let me see. I'm not sure. Let me see it. And yeah, okay. So now we have this. I'm again doing this. Okay, LES. And now I am going to run this cell, and I am, so yeah, what is the impact of it? It is adding, so I'm adding a list. But it is not added as a single element. So it is added as each element in this list is added as a separate element. So R is a separate element, Python is a separate element, and it's a very useful function. So did you understand the difference between append and extend? So what's the difference? Anyone?
If we want to add single element, then we will use append. And if you want to add more than one element, then we will use extend.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's a good explanation. So extend, basically you can add multiple elements and they will be added as separate elements to the list to which we are adding. And again, so
Append,
go ahead.
append
Go
can
ahead.
also be used as for a nested element.
Yeah. So append, obviously, if so, whether you are giving a individual element or you are giving a list, it will always be appended as a single element. So whatever it is, it will be appended as a single element. So this will be appended as a single element. But extend will actually the impact of extend is just like plus sign, as we have seen. If we are the impact of extend is like a plus symbol. So these R and Python will be added as separate elements in the list. So that's very important. And again, so extend is a method, and all methods, extend is a method. Method is a function defined for the object of particular class. And here we are talking about list. So we are writing the name of the list, LES dot extend is the name of the method, followed by parentheses. So this is a method. So whenever, so if I write something like this, maybe alias, maybe just fame. So, and this fame is not followed by parentheses. So what is it, a method or attribute for list?
Attribute, I think, not method.
Yeah, attribute. So attribute method will be followed by parentheses. So it will be followed by parentheses, and it might or might not take arguments, but this is an attribute. So so yeah, this should be clear. This thing should be clear. Yeah. So most of the code, this is how we call the code in Python. Okay. So we know how to use extend, and there are so many methods. I mean, I cannot teach you all of them, but you should know the methods that work on object of class list and how to call them. So that's a main thing. And obviously, we have this DS requirement. So again, we know what will be done. What will this command extend do? So you can see that Python R is added, and insert is a method. So insert is a method. So we are can I use this insert method on an object of class tuple? So what if it were tuple like this? If it were tuple, okay. Okay. So why I'm getting this error now?
Because tuples are immutable.
Tuples are immutable, and this extend method only worked for object of class list. So now this DS requirement is not a list, it's a tuple, and we don't have any operation to extend tuple. So we don't have any expression. So remember that you need to know what type of object is this. Then you can apply a method, a suitable method for that object of that class. Okay, so but now you cannot apply it because it's no more a list. But obviously, if you have this type of this is a list. This is a list. So you can apply extend. You can apply extend because the object is now of class list. Object is of class list. So this is list, and this extend method has a meaning for the list. This object, this extend method is a function defined for the object of class list. So it should work. So yeah, it will work. Yeah, and you will see. Yeah. So yeah, now let's see. Yeah, you get the results. Okay. So it's very important. Again, so this is an insert method. This is an insert method, and you can see that this is an object of class list, and you can insert an element at position 3. So you are inserting an element like so this is an index, and this is what you want to insert. So yeah, and DS requirement. Yeah. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it is inserted at the 3rd position. So so the insert, remove, extend, append, these methods work for the object of class list. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. That yeah, that's very important. So and what methods exist? What are the methods? For a particular object, you can use dir function. You can use dir function to know. Let me show you. So if dir, what are the methods for this object? If you have any confusion, so this is a method. So this is a list of method. So we have alien for the list. We have obviously iterable. So lists are iterable. And we have, okay, where is the format contains, yeah, get item. Yeah, you can get an item from a list. Yeah, and less than. Yeah, so these are the methods for the object of class list. So yeah, insert, we have insert for list, we have extend for list, we have remove for list, we can reverse the list, we can sort the list. So these are all the methods defined for list. They work only for objects of class list, and we know how to call a method on an object of particular class. So we call object dot method name. This will be a method name followed by parentheses and argument. So the methods that work for object of class list, they cannot work for object of class tuple because objects are different, they are distinct. So sometimes some methods are supported across different objects, but not always. So I mean, the purpose is not to go into the super detail of object-oriented programming here. It's just to help you call the code, so that you should have some understanding what's happening. Otherwise, I mean, two beginners can make serious mistakes, and I mean, it takes them a while to understand why they are making these mistakes. But I will repeat these things continuously throughout the lecture.
Hey, Imran.
Yeah, go ahead.
Question. I just came in late. I'm just asking. Did you the file that you're currently using, right?
Sorry,
you
what?
send it?
Sorry, what? Define what?
the file that you currently like showing, sharing, right? Did you share the file? I would love to upload the file.
Yeah. I have shared the file with you. I mean, yeah. So you will get it. You already have it. Yeah.
I already have it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So here now we have tuples. So tuples are ordered and tuples are immutable. So this is how you create tuples, empty tuple. You create empty list by simple this square bracket. You create empty tuple by here. So obviously we have parentheses. So I mean, let me clear the drawings. Okay. So what if I run this? What do you think what I will get? Highlighted portion.
The data type, whether it's a string
Yeah.
or a integer.
Yeah. It will give you tuple. So it will give you tuple. So all of them will, so this will give you tuple. So yeah, if I see, you can see that they are of class tuple. So that's very important. T2. If you want to create a tuple with a single element, this is the right way to create a tuple with a single element. It must be followed by a comma. So it is a simple integer. It's not a tuple. So T2 is an integer. It's not a tuple. If you want to create an empty tuple, this is the way. If you want to create a tuple with a single element, this must be followed by a comma. Okay, so 5 must be followed by comma. Otherwise, it will be understood as an integer. So that's very important. Yeah, students make mistake. So yeah. Okay, so tuples. What is the length of this tuple? Quickly.
5.
Yeah, 5. So all the elements are of one data type. There is no requirement that a tuple must be of the same data type. Tuple could contain any data type. So if I run this, yeah. So there are some functions like type, len, which work for like different objects. So you call them like in this way, len, it can work on list. It can work on tuple, so you call in more of a functional style. So len, similarly type. So type, parenthesis. So yeah, so initially there must be there will be some confusion, like you're calling this some function in this way, and there are some methods so which are like called in this way, like object of a particular class dot, and the method that should operate on the object of this class. So the method should be on the object of this class. So if it is a list, then you can use extend, append, remove. If it is if the object is of class tuple, this object is of class tuple, obviously you cannot use the extend method. So method is nothing but a function defined for the object of particular class. It supports operations. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? I mean, very important for you guys to ask questions. And I mean, I will repeat these things many times, so don't worry about it if you cannot understand in the first go. So I can understand if there is a confusion. So this is step 2.
Can we use tuple, length in for the tuple?
Yeah. So len function type can be used for tuple. So here, let me show you. len. So you will call len here in this way. So it counts the number of element. You can use min. I think min, you can use minimum, you can use maximum, you can use type, you can use yeah. So yeah, these are, yeah, you can use. So yeah, good question. Thank you. So here, tuples, you cannot mutate the elements in a tuple. So yeah, so what I'm trying to do here, can anyone tell me what I'm trying to do here?
You are trying to add Python at the 0 position.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what we have in the zero position now?
It is
Imran.
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 Imran. Yeah. I have yeah. So, but the problem is I will get an error. The reason is because tuple, you can access an element from a tuple, but you cannot mutate an element in a tuple. So tuple are immutable. So you can think like this part on the left of singles equals to sign is you are accessing. And on the right, you are trying to replace Imran with Python. But obviously, in tuple does not allow mutability. So I mean, mutability is a little tricky concept in tuple. So I will explain you in detail. But for now, yeah, for now you can think of like you will get an error, and you know why. But if I convert this into a list, so yeah, this list, though its name is still top2, but it's a list, and now it has changed. Okay, so in list, this part is to access an element in list, and this is to change the element at position 0. Okay, so you can in list you cannot you can access an element as well as you can modify an element if the need be. So, but obviously you can only access an element in tuple. Tuple does not support mutation operations. So I will replace this. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so this, and we should get an error. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to see all the methods that apply on tuple, so you can see here. Okay. So do we have extend, append methods for tuple? There are no extend, append
No,
methods. Yeah, because tuple does not
it's
support.
immutable.
Yeah, immutable. They are of type immutable. But we have len function, len. We have, I think it supports, yeah, type, minimum, maximum. I don't know, like here. Let me show. So you can check what are the operations that you can perform on tuple. So these are the methods. So yeah, so it's very important. Like if you're a beginner, you call this dir function oftenly. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so percentage who, don't worry about it yet, but percentage who is just what are the objects that exist in your namespace, or if you're coming from our programming background, what exists in your environment. If you want to see what are the name value bindings that exist in your environment, so you can see it. Yeah, and this gives you more detail, but you don't need to worry about it yet. So this is a last lecture, more involved concept. So now you should focus on the basics of data structures. Okay, tuple packing and unpacking. Tuple packing and unpacking is an important concept. You can like pack a multiple values. So what is tuple packing? So tuple packing basically, it's a process of packing multiple values into a tuple. So yeah, and this is done by separating the values with a comma. So here it's a sort of a tuple, and you are packing these. We have a multiple values, and you are packing these values into this tuple. Okay, so this name. So this name. So here, if I run this, you can see that multiple values are packed into a tuple. So you can also unpack it, and unpacking is very, very important. So unpacking is important, and you can see that this is a tuple. So what are so it has one hello. Let me annotate it. Maybe that will be easy for you to understand. So tuple unpacking. So this is a tuple. So this tuple has this one. So it is just like multiple assignments. You are assigning multiple variables, multiple values. So tuple unpacking, you can think of multiple variables, multiple values. So this is you 3.14. So what is tuple unpacking? So tuple unpacking is basically A will be assigned a value 1, B will be assigned a value hello, C will be assigned a value 3.14. So you are assigning multiple variables, multiple values at the same time. So this is what we meant by unpacking. So yeah, so this was all the values were packed in a tuple, and you were like, this will give you this print A will give you 1, this print B will give you hello, this print C will give you 3.14. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, you can see this. Yeah. So how many elements we have in this? Is it a tuple or it's a list? Anyone?
It's a tuple with a nested list.
Yeah, excellent explanation. So it's a tuple. And what is the length of this tuple?
4 elements.
Yeah, 4 elements. So we have 4 elements and it's a tuple. And if you want, so what will be the impact of this statement?
The first position will be foo. The second position will be bar. The third position will be buzz, and S4. S4 will be assigned to the nested list.
Excellent. So I mean, yeah. So
No, 4 positions. I'm sorry. I mean the 0
yeah.
one, the
Excellent.
first position. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, you got it right.
Yeah.
Great. That's great. Excellent. Like, I mean, if there are students who are not understanding, maybe I will go through it again when we will study functions. So, I mean, I just want to introduce you, and there is a material which you can read on tuple packing and tuple unpacking, and your classmate has explained it really well. Yeah, so let me create this and let me, yeah, print S1 for, yeah, you can see that S1 is foo, S4 is, yeah, and you can, if you want to see all others, S2, S3, yeah, that's great. Similarly, yeah, okay, now sets. Sets are unordered and set elements are unique. So duplicate elements are not allowed. Set.
Hello.
Go ahead. Question. Go ahead.
Please, is the unpacking and packing function the same as percentage rule we saw yesterday?
Packing and unpacking. So packing is like no. First of all, percentage whose is a different function. So basically, it tells you what type of object you have created in a what type of objects you have created in your namespace or environment. If you're coming from R or another programming background, so you have created A, B, bigger list. These are the things that exist. These variables exist in your namespace. So yeah, but packing and unpacking is different. So packing and unpacking is related to tuples. So if you can pack multiple values into a simple tuple. So here it's a tuple, and the length of this tuple is 4, and you are like giving it a name. So it's just like packing multiple values into a tuple, my tuple.
I have a question over here.
Go ahead.
Like, if you're defining my tuple as 1 hello and 3.14, so we do not need to use the round bracket.
Yeah, it does not make any difference. So you can use and you cannot use. It does not make any difference. So you will see. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, no difference. But obviously, the good practice in Python and Python, the community recommends to use this brackets. Okay, so it's more readable. It's more clear that you are creating a tuple. So it's a sort of a tuple. Okay, and yeah, but it does not make any difference. I mean, if the elements are not elements, are not a group of elements not surrounded by round brackets, they will still be considered as a tuple. So one should be very careful. Yeah, good question. Excellent. Okay, so tuple unpacking. Tuple unpacking is basically here you have like a tuple, and the length of that tuple is 3. So we have 3 elements, 1, hello, 3.14. And you want to assign these elements to different variables. Maybe you cannot think of use case now, but you will have the use cases. And in the for loop, we use this thing because Python is very flexible and it lets you loop over multiple sequences, and because of this tuple unpacking. So yeah, tuple unpacking is important. So here what you are doing, this my tuple is basically 1, hello, and 3.14. So this A will have a value 1, B has a value hello, C has a value 3.14. So A, B, C, like the number of variables should be equal to the number of values. So you can think of a tuple unpacking as multiple, we are assigning multiple variables, multiple values. So that's important. That's what we are doing it. Yeah, and you will see more examples, and when you will see more examples, it will be clear to it. It's okay. I mean, no, if you are not understanding every bit of it, it's not an issue yet. Yeah, but what you must understand from this lecture is list, tuple, set, dictionaries, and how to apply objects of different, how to apply different methods on them. And that's something very important. But I'm introducing you these concepts, which I will be discuss in more detail. I just want to give you a feel of these concepts and maybe play with these ideas, go to YouTube videos, watch it, maybe read a blog in it, maybe, yeah, so that when I discuss these ideas in super detail in next lecture, you should be able to grasp it. You should have heard about these things. And yeah, so it's these are for you to play with these ideas like tuple unpacking, packing, unpacking, even indexing and slicing. We will discuss I hope we will start today, but obviously we will discuss it in super detail in tomorrow. So sets are unordered, sets are unique. So you can think of set here. This is a set. You can create set with set function. So you can give it any iterable. So this is a list. You can create set from a list. So what do you think? What will happen? What will happen? Are there any duplicated elements in this list? And what will happen to those duplicated elements?
They will be counted as one.
Yeah, they will be removed. One of them will be removed. So so I'm giving an iterable to a set function, and it will create a set. And let me be. So you can see that foo, we had 2 foos, but one of them was removed. So that, and you can see that it's with curly braces. So yeah, and yeah, so yeah. And what do you think? What will happen if I create a set like this? What will happen? So what will happen to this set? How many elements we are going to have in the set?
4.
4 or 2?
Well, I think 4, because there are 2.
Okay, so yeah, as long as this equality 1 gives you true, so they will be considered the same object. They will not be considered distinct. So these are not distinct. 2, because you get true from it. Okay, so be careful. So you get true, so these will be considered as same. So they will not be considered as distinct. So yeah, yeah. So if the result is true for these computations, so 1 and 1 are not considered distinct. They are considered as the same element. It's sort of a repetition. So yeah, be careful about it. Okay, that's great. And we have like set. Obviously, we can perform a lot of operations on set. This is set. So set function can take any iterable. List is an iterable. We passed list last time while creating a set. So here we passed a list. We can also pass a tuple. So it can take any iterable. So yeah, again you can see that print p, yeah, and set. Okay, so any iterable. So what it does, any iterable, like this sequence of string, this string is a iterable, so each will um, break down so into characters. So this is an iterable. So what it does, it breaks down the iterable, okay, in elements. So yeah, that's very important. Yeah, okay, and we have like this set q r. So, okay. So both sets and dictionaries are created with curly braces, okay? And this empty set is not empty set. This is our dictionary. So if you want to create an empty set, this is the right way to create an empty set. So this is empty dictionary. So yeah. So if you check the type of it, you will get a class object of class dictionary. So you should know how to create a empty list, empty tuple, empty set, empty dictionary. So empty set, if you want to create an empty set, this is the right way. This is the right way. Okay. This is dictionary, empty dictionary, because yeah, so that's also important, and student makes a lot of mistake. Yeah. Okay. So here you can see, you can see what is dictionary, what is, and non-empty. So we also know, we studied like the Boolean context of context of non-empty composite data structures. So we studied, so here you can see what is the Boolean context of this. So it will be true. So if you are creating a set, non-empty set, it will give you true. But if you are creating an empty set, which is empty set, what do you think, what you will get? What is the Boolean context of empty set? It's false. What is the Boolean context of empty list? It will be false. And what is a Boolean context of list with any number of items? So it will be true. So yeah, this is also important. I mean, you need to, there's a possibility of making mistakes. So yeah, so we can perform different type of operations on set. So so sets, I mean, all the elements are of same data type. I mean, you're not required to have elements of the same data type. All you need to have, the limitation on the elements of the set is that they must be of immutable type. That's all the limitation you have to pass. And integer, float, Boolean, and string, they are of immutable data type. I did not explain you yet why they are of immutable data type, but they are immutable data type. You just need to remember it yet. And I will explain you what do I mean by immutability of basic data type. So we will explain this. I will explain you this concept, but just now, yeah. So these are also immutable type. Like these are immutable. I did not explain you why. The question of why I will explain you, very, very important. So I mean, in coding, we must be asking questions, why questions, and we also explain these questions. That's important. So yeah, but these are all of these are of immutable data type, and they can become any one of them can be an element in a set. So tuple is of immutable types. Tuple can be an element of set. List and dictionary are of mutable type. They cannot be an element of set. So that's very important. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me erase it. Questions are very important. I mean, more than anything, questions are important. So how many of you are maybe trying to read the blogs which I have assigned? Maybe, I mean, I can totally understand it's not possible to read everything, but still watching videos like Corey Schafer's videos are super good, super good. Real Python's blogs are super good to read. Maybe it is okay if you don't understand everything of it, but if you are not understanding, it does not mean that you should not read. You will not understand maybe in a first reading, maybe in a second reading, but slowly you will understand it. So you need to understand this process that, oh, you don't stop reading. Don't stop reading. Oh, I'm not understanding anything, I won't read it. No, that's not a part. You will read it even if you don't understand. You will watch YouTube videos, and slowly you will understand. Usually I offer this course in 1 month, but obviously I have to compress. For each topic I give lectures, 2 hours lectures. So I mean, I'm trying to cover a lot in a short span of time, but it's possible. I also have delivered this course in a week, and students have learned. So it's possible to learn if you are focused, and if you yeah, if you work hard. So it's not like it's not possible. Okay, so we can perform different type of operations on set. We can perform operations by operator or by method. So here we can take the intersection of the sets. So so this union, do you remember, anyone remember what do we mean by the union of the sets or the intersection of the sets in maths? Quickly, if anyone can explain me. People with math background are very welcome to explain set union, set intersection.
In union, we are combining 2 sets completely, the elements of 2 sets, and in intersection, we have we take the common things from both sets.
Okay, that's great. Maybe I will redefine union. So the in union, like obviously we combine this like elements either or. It's a more of a either or. So elements yeah, either or. So yeah, and intersection is basically the common elements. So union of this basically will give you, if these are the 2 sets, and this is our operator method of union. So it's mean take the union of x1 and x2, union of x1 and x2. Okay, so the 2 sets, union of 2 sets. Okay, and both x1 and x2 must be of type set when we are using operator method. So these are operator. So you can think of operator, and this is operand. X1 is an operand, x2 is an operand. Okay, and what will be the final set? So foo will be included in the final set, bar will be included, bars will be included, but obviously no repetition. So this bars will not. So QUX, QWX. So these will be the part of set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be included in the union. So let me show you the union. So where is the union? Okay, so union you can see 5 element, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what will be the resulting set, intersection set? So what do you think, what will be included if I take the union of x1 and x2?
Bars.
Bars.
Bars,
Only-
yeah.
Yeah, so only bars. So this, yeah. So so you have a union method as well as an operator. So this is a method. So if I want to take the union x1 dot union x2. So this is a method. Yeah. Bars. So this is an operator. So there are two different ways of performing the same thing. So you can do it by operator method, and you can do it by methods operator, or you can do it by method. So the method is more powerful in the sense that this x2 does not need to be a set. For here, both x1 and x2, if you're using operator to unify the two sets, both operands must be of type must be of type set. Let me say it again. If you are using this operator, vertical bar, this is which unifies the two sets, x1 and x2. If you are using this operator, both x1 and x2 must be set. Okay, but here x2 could be any iterable. It could be even tuple or list. So if I run this, it will give you the result. It will give you the right result. But here it will give you an error, unsported operand type. So set and tuple. So if you're using operator, both must be set. Okay, that's important. And similarly, you can use so again, union is a method that work for the object of class set. Do you think that the union will work for the object of class dictionary? Union or intersection? Complete silence. Everything understood or nothing understood? So, I mean, methods, union, so we have studied that methods are defined for the object of particular class. So union, intersection, set difference, these are the methods. There are other methods as well. These are the methods that work for object of class set. They won't work on, so you should be clear. Yeah, so when you are applying a method, you should be clear what type of object is this. So does this object supports the method which I'm going to apply on it or not? So that's, you should be asking this question to yourself before typing a code. Very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. Yeah. So here, yeah, I mean, these are, you guys can go at your own, this modify a set, update. Now I will maybe spend some time on dictionaries. Dictionaries are very, very important. So we have 10 minutes and we can spend 10 minutes on dictionaries. So dictionary, anyone can define dictionary. Maybe go and define dictionary. What are dictionaries? How we create them? How they are different from other data structures we have already studied, or data containers we have already studied.
Hi everyone, they are unordered.
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. Dictionaries are unordered. So that is what the dictionaries are. Dictionaries are different from other data structures like list, tuple. They are unordered. So and you cannot access the values associated with a key by a numerical index because they are not ordered. Okay, dictionary is not ordered, and dictionary Dictionaries are
Okay.
mutable, so you can add a key value pair, you can remove a key value pair, you can update a value associated with a particular key. So dictionaries are mutable, and dictionaries is more of a key value pair. So key value pair, okay? So how you can access an element? So there is no point in creating a data structure if you cannot access the elements in that data structure. So how do you access the elements? How do you access the values associated with keys? You access it by key-based access. So key-based. So you also studied about the immutabilities of the keys. Do you think that the integer can be a key in a dictionary? Integer, any integer?
Yes, it can be.
String.
But it's not going to be actually a digit. It will be a string.
So integer, float, string, boolean, they are of immutable type. So therefore,
Yes.
they can be a key.
They can be presented as a string, for example, and
Yeah.
they can be a key.
Yeah, key. They can be a key in a dictionary. So you can have a dictionary like this, maybe. So one. So one. Then comma. So after key we have colon, then value 2.0.
Or the digit 1 can be presented in quotation marks.
You don't like it could, you can
Yeah.
that will be a string. That will be a string. So the
Yes,
one,
that will be a string.
yeah. So one could, yeah. Oh, okay, that's great. So two is so here one is an integer, and it could be a key. It could be a key because one is immutable. Two is a float. It could be a key because it is of immutable data type. You can have a tuple as a key because tuples are of immutable data type. You cannot have a list as a key because lists are mutable. You cannot have a dictionary as a key because dictionaries are mutable. So that's very important. And literally there are no limitations on the values associated with keys. So values could be of type list, tuple, dictionary, anything. So there is no, yeah. And dictionaries also support iteration. So that's very important. They do sports iteration. So yeah. Okay, okay, this is our dictionary. So how many key values pairs we have in this dictionary? Quickly.
Three values.
Three key value pairs. So what is a second key value pair in that dictionary?
Age is 25.
Yeah, age 25. So that's very important. How did you create that dictionary with curly braces? So yeah, this is the key followed by colon. This is the value. This is one key value pair, and the one key value pair is separated from the next key value pair by a comma. So then we have a key for the second key and the second value. Second key and second value are separated by a colon, then comma. So you can have any number of key value pairs, though the order will be the order with which you have created the dictionary will be preserved, but that does not matter. That does not matter. Order does not matter here in dictionaries. So yeah, and yeah, that's great. So quickly, so yeah, and keys, I have already explained that keys must be unique and immutable. So here, first key is string. I explained you that string is of immutable type. This is integer. Integer is immutable type. It could be a key. This is a tuple, immutable type. It could be a key. True Boolean is a immutable type. It could be a key. All of them will be a key, and it will not give you any error. So how to access values associated with a key? How to access values associated with a key? So let me create a box here quickly. So what you will do, you will write the name of the dictionary, then square bracket, and the name of the key. So maybe I want to have tuple. So what will this give me? What do you think? No. No, this, not this, this. So this is a key. This is a key. So what will this give me?
Tuple key.
Tuple key.
Tuple key.
Yeah, tuple key. So this is how, okay. I should not. Okay. So why I am getting this error is basically there is no need to use this, yeah, tuple key. And I can have, if I want to find access a value associated with a key name. So what I will do, name, it will give me John. And I could have, if I want to access the value associated with the key 42, it will give me 42 string. So these are how you can access, excuse me, the keys. And then you have, yeah, I have already explained it. I have already explained it. Okay, yeah. So either these are two methods to these are two methods to, this is a method to access a value associated with a key, and this is like the more common way. This is what you will see all the time, and these are the two different ways, no difference. And you can even modify value associated with a key. So let me run this. Okay, so here, so we have age key, and the value associated with age is 25. So if I want to modify it to 26, so what I will do, name of the dictionary, specify the name of a key in a square bracket, and is equal to the new value that I want to replace 25 with. So that is 26. So that's how we can modify. And you can modify gender or gender. This key value pair did not exist previously, and it will be added. So it will be added. So you will see a new, you can also use the same syntax to add new key value pair, and you can see it will be added at the end. We have dictionary methods. So so what is this? Is it a method? Let me. So is it a method or a attribute? This highlighted portion. Quickly. Why or why not? Keys is a method for my dictionary, or it's an attribute?
It's a method.
Yeah, because dot keys is followed by parenthesis. So dot values is a method, dot items is a method. So that's very important. So we have different methods. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Okay. This is I will explain you maybe in tomorrow's lecture. And this is basically why int, string, float, and int, string, float, and Boolean are of immutable type. So how do we know? How do we determine that the data is of immutable type? Okay, so let me stop share. Let me